fight. You got me feeling a fight. Like how could I not think of you?
I feel so massively imperfect all the time. Like on the daily, my brain, I have constant reminders from my mind of just so many little details about myself. I'll try and explain. So here's kind of a look inside my brain of what you will hear if you were me and you had my thoughts. You would hear a lot of sit up straight, don't slouch. Make sure there isn't any food in your teeth. That's embarrassing. If there's visible dandruff on your scalp, remove it or at least hide it the best that you can. Make sure your little belly chub, I don't know what else to call it. Make sure your chubbiness isn't visible, so only wear high-waisted things or things that are loose enough to where it doesn't accentuate that part of your stomach. Try not to move or do anything in a way that may bother or burden somebody else. So I went on this trip and I was cuddling with someone, and I noticed that if their arm was over my stomach, I would not take a deep breath because I didn't want my stomach to rise and disturb their arm, which logically, that's just kind of dumb, right? To think that, oh, I can't take a deep breath. Otherwise, I might disturb the placement of their arm. Or I might make them think, oh, I don't want their arm to be there. I might make them think that I want them to move. So I'm just going to take shallow breaths. That'll work. And this is just like something that happens automatically. It's not like I'm trying to do these things. It's just an automatic thing. I am so hyper aware so much of the time. It is so exhausting. My pendulum swings between being like recklessly careless to unbearably self-aware. And there are moments in my life where the range of that swing is smaller, if that makes sense. So sometimes I'm not as recklessly carefree and I'm not as unbearably self-aware. Sometimes I get closer and closer to being a bit more neutral, finding the balance between the two. And then sometimes it just feels like, excuse me. Sometimes it just feels like the pendulum is out of control. And at one moment I am so recklessly carefree and I'm not worried about a damn thing and I'm enjoying myself and I'm having fun and I'm so out of my head and I'm making bad decisions. But I'm not super self-aware, so that feels really nice. But it can become self-destructive. And then if the pendulum swings the other way, then I'm so super self-aware and hyper-aware of my surroundings and everything and all of the things that I'm doing and saying and thinking about and what am I looking at and how do I look and am I placing my hands okay? Am I walking correctly? Do I know how to open a car door? Where are my things? Oh, I know exactly where they are because if you tell me, I'm going to know exactly where you sat it down because I'm so hyper fixated on everything. And oh, you see that car merging on the highway? Yeah, I saw it fucking 5 minutes ago. I've been trying to understand where this is coming from. It used to happen with me being a creator. It was more directly, it was focused more on the things that I would create and the things that I would put out into the world. That's where my hyperfixation would be of like, is this okay? Is this good? Is this watchable? Are people going to like this? And is this good enough? And so I would like hyperfixate on a lot of the little details of the things that I would create. And that's kind of where that focus was for a while, was on my creations and the things I was making. But as of late, it's turned. Instead of it being a focus on the things I'm making, it's focused on me directly. And I'm trying to understand where that's coming from and why that's happening. A few years back, I had this feeling of not knowing who I was. I think I've talked about it on the podcast before. Of not knowing what I liked anymore. Really, it was this genuine feeling of not knowing who I was. Of just like, and it was quite unnerving to sit there and be like, oh, I don't even know if I like the things that I used to like. It was quite an unnerving feeling. And to have thoughts like that, it was kind of my first experience having thoughts of like, who am I? I feel like I'm kind of at that moment again, but it's different because I do know the things that I like. I like doing things like this. I like creating. I know that for a fact. And I have been enjoying my life and the things that I've been doing, and I'm so grateful for the experiences that I've been having. I feel so blessed for my experiences and for my life and for the people in it and for the love that I'm being shown and for the love that I have for myself. I feel so immensely grateful for all of that. But I don't really understand why I'm feeling so self-conscious about so much of myself all the time. I've theorized that maybe partly to blame would be social media and just how much I consume the internet and media in general. I've thought about that because it has felt a little consuming. Sorry, my cat hopped onto my lap and she distracted me a little bit from my train of thought, but it's all part of the show, darling. It's all part of the experience of the bedside table. Or something like that. But, yeah, it's just every little thing about myself. I'm just like, and I've had a very similar experience when I was younger of this feeling of this hyper focusing on me and what I'm doing. I have this particular experience of a childhood best friend of mine. I was spending the night at his house, and I remember he had fallen asleep, and I just don't think I had gone to sleep yet, so I think I was still awake. I can't remember if I was just still awake or if I'd woken up after falling asleep. I think I was just awake, but I was cold, and I was on top of the blanket, right? And he was underneath the blanket, so I didn't want to disturb him by getting under the blanket, so that was not an option. But he had a pile of like the big thick blankets, you know, like the soft ones, but the thick ones. He had a pile of those next to his bed, but a little bit further out, right? And I laid there for so long, and I started like panicking, over thinking about reaching over and grabbing a blanket for myself. I was legit like scared. I was legit like, I didn't want to disturb him. I didn't want to be the reason that he would wake up. That I didn't want to be the reason that he would be disturbed. So I laid there. I don't know how long I laid there, just cold, knowing full well that I could reach over and grab a blanket for myself. But the thought of possibly waking him up, the thought of just being a disturbance in his life, I was just like, it was such a risk to disturb someone, to disturb their life, to be a reason of disturbance. I don't know how else to explain it, but I did end up getting the blanket, and he didn't wake up, and I wasn't cold anymore. But it was like this, such an inner battle, so much inner turmoil over something seemingly so simple. Just reach over and grab the blanket. And that's what I kept telling myself in my head, to just reach over and grab the blanket. It's right there. It's fine. Just get it. And I have these thoughts, these conflicting thoughts so often of just like, what are you doing? Just do the thing. You want to do the thing, just do the thing. I'm like, but I can't do the thing. Yes, you can do the thing, but I can't, but there's this, and I don't want to be the, and I don't want to. Just do the thing. And a constant in my life has been people telling me, specific people, I'm not going to say everyone, but specific people in my life that I've had certain relationships with, that tell me, oh, it's just me. I'm standing in my own way. And it's just like, you don't know how often you don't know how much I understand that. And I know they don't understand. I know they don't get it from my perspective, from being me. I know that they don't get it, and no one ever could. And I'm not trying to say that in a sense of like, no one possibly understands what I'm going through. It's just from my standpoint, having my brain and my thoughts and my feelings, being me. No one's going to know what it's like to be me. Literally, in a literal sense, I am the only person who is me. But when people say to me like, it's you're holding yourself back. You're standing in your own way. Just do the thing. If you want it, just do the thing. I'm like, wow, gee, wish I would have thought of that. Just do the thing. If you knew how often I said to myself, just do the thing. And I've made a lot of progress. I have. I've come a long way from being the girl in the bed who's cold, contemplating for 30 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour. I don't know how long I laid there. I've come a long way from being her. But I feel like I still have a long ways to go, and it is overwhelmingly frustrating to understand that, yes, it's me. I know it's me. I am the one holding myself back. I am the one who keeps myself from doing the things that I want to be doing. I know. But it isn't as easy as just do the thing. Maybe for somebody else it is. Maybe for someone who hasn't experienced my experiences. Maybe for someone who hasn't had the spiciness in their life that I have had, aka trauma. And I try to say that, I laugh at it because it's just like, you know, when you think about your own trauma, right? And it's just like, how bad is it really though? You know? Like, well, I think I bet the majority of us probably think someone out there has it worse. And it's funny because we're probably right. We're probably right. Someone out there probably does have it worse than us. Actually, more than likely, 99% sure there's definitely someone out there who has it worse than I do. And it's probably more than one person. It's probably not just one person who has it worse than I do. It's probably a lot of people. But like, why do we do that? When I talk about like my trauma, I'm like, trauma? Really? Ha. Are you sure? And I just like laugh about it. But why? And why do I sit here and think like, yeah, no, someone else has it worse. It's like, what does that do for me? I don't know, does it make it easier for me to accept my own hardships if I think about somebody else going through worse? Maybe. Does it invalidate the fact that my hardships might be harder than I think that they are? Maybe. I don't know. There's this wall by the lake here in the city that I like to sit at. And a couple weeks ago, I was sitting at the wall and I got stung by a bug. And it hurt. I'm like, damn, ow. Pain. It hurt. And I was thinking about it. I was like, so I got stung by a bug at this wall by the lake that I like to sit at. Does that deter me from going back to the wall and sitting by the lake? No. I went there tonight and I sat by the lake at the wall where I got stung. Let's say maybe I get stung again and it's a bigger bug. It hurts more. Is that going to deter me from going back to the wall? Well, maybe. It might deter me for a little longer. But will I still find myself at the wall? Probably. Because I like going there. I like the experiences that I have when I go sit at the wall by the lake. It's one of my favorite spots. How big of a bug does it have to be? How painful of a sting does it have to be before I stop going? How much pain do I need to experience that will keep me away from the things that I enjoy doing? Will I ever experience a certain amount of pain that's going to stop me from enjoying my life? Could I possibly experience a certain amount of pain to the point that I don't want to do the things that I like to do anymore? And so when I think about this, someone else has it worse, that's what I imagine. I imagine the person out there who has it worse than me has experienced a pain greater than mine that has stopped them from doing the things that they love to do, because I can't imagine not doing the things that I love to do. Or have I experienced a grand amount of pain, but I'm still doing the things that I love to do? Sorry for all of the pauses and the silence. It's a late night, and the only thing I had written down for this episode was what I said in the very beginning, which is I feel massively imperfect all of the time. And I do. I do feel massively imperfect all the time. I know, yeah, nothing's perfect, I know. And what is perfect, I know. I wrote that down too. Just like, what defines perfect? What is perfection? Does perfection even exist? No, I don't think so. So then where does this pressure come from? Where's this feeling of feeling so massively imperfect come from if perfect does not exist? What definition of perfect exists in my mind to put in my mind that I'm so imperfect? What is the perfect version of me? That apparently does exist in my mind. A perfect version of me does exist. And I know that because I think about her a lot. I think about this version of me that is not so hyperstimulated all the time. I think about this version of me that can do the things that she wants without even having to worry about it. I'm smooth, and I'm sexy, and I'm charming, and I'm charismatic, and I'm beautiful. And I take care of myself, I take care of my body, and I eat well, and I take care of my mind, and I have friends, and my friends love me, and I have this amazing job, and I make enough money that I can support myself, and then some. I'm just less afraid. I'm less afraid. I don't jump at every given moment. I don't forget how to open car doors. That may not make sense, but it's literally just this fear that it's the fear of not knowing how to do something that I've done so many times before. It happened to me today. I was walking out of a gas station and it's like, do I know the way out? Okay, yes, I came from here. Okay, this is the right exit, right? This is where I entered, right? Yes, this is the front. This is the entrance. This is the only entrance. Of course we go out this way. Okay, I go out this way. Is that the right car? Am I getting into the right car? Well, yes, that is the right car. Yes. And you know that's the right car, but I'm going to sit here and question, is that the right car? Yes, it's the right car. Am I getting in on the right side? Well, yes, you're getting in on the right side. That's the passenger side. That's where you sit. But is this the right side? Is this how I open the door? Am I going to fuck this up? Am I going to fuck up opening a car door? How many times have you opened a car door? How can you fuck this up? How many times have you opened a car door? Open the car door. Just do the thing. Do the thing. You know how to do the thing, so do the thing. Why do you question it? Why do you question literally everything? Why? Why do you think you don't know how to do the things that you've done for so long? You've done this shit your whole life. You know how to open a car door. Open the car door. Yes, that's the right car. Yes, this is the exit to the gas station that you entered. It's the only fucking door. What do you mean? Yes, you know how to fucking walk. Put one foot in front of the other. You've been doing it for 29 fucking years. Well, maybe not 29, the walking, but you've been doing it long enough to know how to do it. How do you not know how to do these things? And that's my brain. Every day, that's my brain. Of just, is this right? Is this right? Am I doing this right? Is this okay? Am I doing this? Is this okay to do? Am I okay to breathe when someone's fucking arm is on my stomach? Is that okay to do? Can I do that? Am I okay to be seen? Am I okay to be heard? Is that okay? Can I exist? And can I exist and can it not be so fucking exhausting all the time? Is that okay? Why do I have so many questions about everything? Every single goddamn day of my life? Why do I have so many fucking questions all the time? Why do I need to know? Why does everything have to have such a deep meaning? Why? Why does there have to be something that I'm striving toward? Why? Can't I just stop for a while? Can't I just breathe? Can't I just have a moment where I'm not consistently just thinking about something all the time, where I'm not just so fucking aware of everything. Can I just stop like questioning? Can I stop doubting? Can I just do the things that I want to do without it being so fucking heavy? Can't I just open a car door? Can't I just take a deep breath when someone's arm is on my stomach? Can't I just grab the fucking blanket from the floor because I'm cold? Oh, and what's stopping you? Oh, that's right. It's me. And the people in your life are going to remind you that it's you. Oh, you're holding yourself back. You're in your own way. Gee. Just do the thing. Wow. I really wish I would have thought of that. So, I feel so massively imperfect all the time. And I don't know what to do about it. I think that's probably the thing that probably scares me the most is like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But if I tell myself that, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Because like that's what my brain's doing, right? It's just trying to make sure I know what I'm doing all the time. My brain is constantly trying to make sure I know what I'm doing. And even more than that, making sure that I'm doing it right. Quote unquote, right. Like what the fuck does that mean? And it gets so bad that it's literally, do you know how to walk right? Do you know how to open a car door? Do you know how to breathe? It's insane. And it's exhausting. And it's just like, maybe if I just admit to myself, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And maybe I get it wrong. Maybe I fuck up. Maybe I embarrass myself. Maybe I don't do it the quote unquote right way. And maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay. And yeah, maybe I am standing in my own way. And yeah, maybe I'm the one stopping myself. But if I knew how to not do that, I would be doing that. That's why it's so frustrating. It's just like the same concept of when you're sad and someone's like, well, just don't be. Great. Oh, you're standing in your own way. Just don't do that. Okay. Get right on that. Like I haven't been doing it for the past 10 fucking years. Trying to get out of my own fucking way. I know I usually have something uplifting to say because I really try to make this podcast that. But tonight I sat down and the only thing I had was what I've talked about. And if anything, I feel like I'm not the only one who feels this way. And maybe if some of you have felt this way and you've overcome it, or you are overcoming it, or you're finding ways that have helped you get through these kinds of feelings, well, maybe you can share some of that knowledge and some of those experiences with me, so I know what to do. So I know a little bit more of what to do. Because so many of you have commented on my past few episodes about just feeling seen and heard, and it absolutely makes my day. Every single comment, every single one, it just makes my day. And I'm so glad that so many of you find something of value within these episodes. So thank you for listening to this one or watching this one. And I appreciate you for being here. And I'll see you in the next one.